Well, Coach, we talked to Larry Coker and Tommy Tuberville yesterday. We interviewed them yesterday, and they had high regards for you for, like we just mentioned, getting the University of Miami football program started. Talk about being at Florida Atlantic, close by to where Coral Gables is. Is being at Florida Atlantic something that you see that you can build up in the Sun Belt Conference, since you know the landscape of the Miami area?
Well, we selected to come here after I had left Oklahoma and had gotten into the stocks and bonds business. The president of the school asked me if I would be interested in starting a program, and as I studied the situation, it became obvious that Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, and Boca Raton, all three towns north of Miami, had a lot of natural resources to develop a great football program, and that if handled correctly, we could move quickly through the ranks of Division I AA into Division I, get into a conference, build a stadium, and then move into higher levels. We've been doing this now for 12 years. 2 of the 12 years, the first 2 were raising money and building buildings and hiring coaches and getting schedules. And then the 2001 we began to play, and by 2005 we were in Division I. By 2006 we were playing for the conference championship. By 2007 we win the conference. We have been to 2 bowl games, the New Orleans Bowl where we beat Memphis State, and the Motor City Bowl where we beat Central Michigan. And now we're right on the throes of building a stadium. Once the stadium is in place, and if this this conference realignment takes place, there could be an opportunity for us to find a berth in a BCS conference, which would allow us to play for the national championship.
Well, what conferences would you like to see?
Well, it's hard to
ACC
say.
maybe?
I don't want to make my options too small. But obviously, the situation with the University of Miami leaving the Big East Conference, now in the ACC, leaves a spot here in South Florida, the 7th largest media market in the nation, leaves that spot available, and we're working hard to be able to fill that position.
Well, how much longer do you see yourself coaching at Florida?
Well, I've made a commitment. My wife and I have made a commitment that we would do this as long as we're productive, as long as the university thinks that we're the best man for the job, and as long as my God gives me good health.
Well, you're doing some good things here at Florida Atlantic, and building it very nicely, like you've done in your previous stops. So, one last question: you open up in Birmingham at Legion Field against UAB. What will that mean to you, being back at Legion Field, where you and Bear and even Gene Stallings used to roam the sidelines?
Well, memories and past are wonderful, and it's okay to think about them every once in a while. But the worst thing you can do when you get to my maturity is to spend all your time looking backwards. The most important thing with us going into Birmingham this year is that we're going into a program that is on the rise, that has made great strides since our first meeting back 2 years ago, where we got a win, and then they beat us handily last year. We've lost our great quarterback. We've lost our entire offensive line, some good receivers. So we're going to be young and aggressive, have a good quarterback. But we have to go up with a defense that can slow them down a little bit, or we have no chance to win. If we could get a win, it would be a great start to our season. If we don't, then we've got to look forward to Michigan State in Detroit, Michigan on the next Saturday after that game.
Well, Coach, it was a pleasure catching up with you and talking about a legend in the sport of college football.
Appreciate the opportunity, and good luck to you guys.
Yeah, Coach, we appreciate it. We want a minute with you off the record here as we finish the interview.